When Antoinette is born, they forbid her to be seen in public. This is where she spends the first 8 years of her life. No electricity, no running water, no hope. Her fate is like thousands of other Rwandan children, prisoners in their own home. Their crime? Born with a disability. Rwanda is known as the land of 1,000 hills. This hillside neighborhood is a hotspot for hiding children with disabilities, denying them access to basic health care and education. His name is Gilbert Kubwimana. He's a father-like figure who, along with his wife, founded this private academy overlooking Kigali, the capital of Rwanda.
People believe that if a person is born with disabilities, it's because God is punishing them because they have demons at home. Some people even think disabilities are contagious through greetings or physical contact. This leads to discrimination. The families isolate them, preventing them from going to school, getting medical care, and keep them locked up out of fear of abuse and discrimination.
Love with Actions is a non-governmental organization helping and advocating for children with disabilities. It was founded in 2017. Good Shepherd Academy is the school established by Love with Actions to help children with disabilities find a place to receive an education.
My hope when I built this school and established this center on this hill was to change the lives of many. I hoped to see children praying and change the minds of many in the community who think that having a disability means one is incapable. Now, children bring hope and light to this hill.
Good Shepherd Academy provides inclusive education for both children with and without disabilities in a bid to foster inclusive education.
We provide medical care and therapy to children with disabilities such as cerebral palsy, autism, and Down syndrome.
In April 1994, the genocide against the Tutsi occurs, resulting in the deaths of 1 million people in just 100 days. Those who survive face both physical and emotional injuries. The country is plunged into darkness, with many orphans and widows.
Growing up as an orphan gave me a passion and a heart to help children in a difficult situation.
Three decades removed from the genocide against the Tutsi, this small East African country is making dramatic strides forward. Its bustling modern capital of 1 million people is one of the safest and most progressive cities in Africa. More than half of the Rwandan parliament is comprised of women.
Yes, our country has achieved a lot after the genocide against the Tutsi, but there is still a significant issue of discrimination and stigma against children with disabilities.
Antoinette is a 14-year-old girl with multiple disabilities, including cerebral palsy. From the moment she is born, her mother, Clementine, faces overwhelming challenges.
I have faced so much stigma and discrimination because of Antoinette. I had faced judgment and discrimination from others who don't understand or accept my child's condition.
This leads to isolation and conflict between Antoinette's parents. Her father says he will not stay with a child with disabilities and leaves the family.
Even churches did not accept me and my daughter because many of them were thinking we were possessed by the demons.
The first thing we did was to take her through a rehabilitation process to create a joy and hope, showing her that she's one of us. Love with Actions helped them to have a God, which has given birth 6 times. They sell the offspring and use the manure for their kitchen garden, where they grow vegetables.
Antoinette receives regular home visits from the school's physical and occupational therapists. She is a determined young woman.
Love with Actions helped Antoinette get a toilet because they did not have one before. Now Antoinette has a toilet that allows her privacy. In the morning, Clementine washes Antoinette, dresses her in uniform, lifts her onto her back, and carries her up the hill to reach the bus.
Transporting a teenage daughter on her back twice a day is no easy task. But her mother, Clementine, says she always feels rewarded when she sees her daughter off to school on the bus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Whenever I hear Antoinette, my child, speaking English, I get overwhelmed by joy. I just feel very excited. I feel very proud. In fact, it's inexplicable.
When you ask Antoinette what she wants to be, she says, "I want to be a doctor." She wants to be a doctor. That is her dream.
Whether you're a physical therapist, or a teacher, or the one who prepares the school lunches, there is a trait each employee at this school must possess.
We train them to bring a joy, to smile, even if they do not feel like it. These children have gone years without smiles. They need someone to bring happiness, joy, and love. Everyone deserves a hug, especially those children with disabilities who have never experienced a father's love. Our staff are trained to dance with the children, which brings joy. The playground is where they express joy, and they need joy and love everywhere they are. In class, on the playground, at the center, and in therapy. They also learn through the games. Another thing you have observed is that many children bring joy from Love with Actions back to their families, even those living in conflicts.
One of the most important aspects of this school's DNA is its inclusivity.
Seeing the impact of inclusive education on these students' lives reinforces my belief in its power. Inclusive classrooms create an environment where all students learn from each other's strengths and differences. This fosters empathy, understanding, acceptance, and breaks down barriers between students with disabilities and those without. It creates a more inclusive society where everyone is valued regardless of the ability. The joy that comes from celebrating small victories with my students gives me a renewed sense of energy. Whether it's mastering a new skill or gaining confidence in the abilities, these moments remind me of why I chose this profession. Because I gave birth to a child with disability, I was hated and told that I had given birth to a monster.
Daniel is a 9-year-old boy born with multiple severe disabilities. His father abandons him and his mother, Specios. The day Daniel is born, his father never returns.
Daniel is my only child. I carried him for 9 months. I love Daniel very much. Once, a woman tried to convince me to abandon him. It hurt me deeply. The ostracism made me feel deeply saddened. I would cry all night, feeling like I was losing my mind. I just did my best to ignore the hate and isolation and took care of Daniel the best I could.
Specios and Daniel lived in an unfinished, unsecured building. Neighbors reported there is a mother living alone in terrible conditions with a small disabled child. That's when the school goes to look for them.
We first took Daniel to the hospital for treatment, as both he and his mother, Specios, were traumatized. Then we put Daniel in our feeding program to get him food and the nutrition he needed. We provided them with counseling, and then we gave them a house equipped with water, electricity, and God. They couldn't believe the house was theirs.
When I received a fully furnished house, it felt unreal. I felt it was beyond my reach, something impossible.
Specios even said, "You are giving me a heart attack," when seeing this new house. We assured her, "Don't worry, this is your house, this is your new home." Speciosa used to beg to feed her child, would walk the street asking for food. Now, she lives in her own house, and her child goes to school, and Speciosa has a job with Love with Actions.
The child they called a fool, a monster, now wears a uniform and goes to school like other children. I feel great happiness when I see how Daniel is accepted and how he is now able to study.
Love with Actions is not only creating a blueprint on how to help change the lives of children with disabilities. They are helping transform the lives of their moms as well.
My wife Esther has been a huge solution to the challenges of Love with Actions. As a mother working with the other mothers, it has helped because they relate to her as a mother, understanding they share the same issues.
Whenever I gather with mothers, they share how their livelihoods have improved.
The mothers receive financial tips to help them become self-reliant. Each mom has a savings account, and it's common for them to share resources when one of them is in need. The mothers also sew together.
Items the women's group make in our sewing program are displayed in our gift shop. Each item has a story card of the mother who made it. We are not selling the products, we are selling the story of the mother who made the product.
Once a month, the mothers group meets to share, drink traditional beer, and eat donuts.
This sisterhood means they don't feel alone when they have a problem. They feel a part of a big family. They share their stories, they share their hopes. Before, they felt they were only one with a child with disabilities. Now, they can discuss their stories and their problems, which takes them out of isolation.
Because of the poverty in the area, the school provides more than an education.
Cows provide the milk, and chickens provide the eggs, which contribute to the school meals and helps with our nutrition program.
Daniel's mother said since we started giving him eggs and milk, his weight has increased and his skin is smooth.
The mothers work together in the school's garden. They grow beans, cabbage, and avocados, among other fruits and vegetables, all contributing to the children's nutrition program.
We also have a program where we visit our family's home and build the kitchen gardens and provide the families with a God so they don't have to solely rely on love with actions.
Love with Actions also employs both occupational and physical therapists who use a small fleet of motorbikes for house calls.
Occupational therapy enables people with disabilities to regain the capacity to do daily activities like washing and dressing themselves or brushing their teeth. The biggest challenge these children face is the stigma and discrimination.
Without love with actions, it would be very complicated for these parents. Many of these children were in terrible condition when we found them. This organization provides artificial limbs, crutches, medication, and even surgery.
It's clear that Love with Actions is making an impact here where the need is so great. But even with the generosity of donors, the school's waiting list continues to grow.
In this area where we operate, there are a big number of children with disabilities. It limits us from serving them all. We start with those in need of urgent support, so others remain on a waiting list. Hopefully, we get capacity to help them.
As a new generation passes through these gates, you see a constant figure standing watch. Alice is the beloved school security guard. Born a generation too early to receive the help and education these students enjoy. She is born with epilepsy. Her family keeps her hidden from others. Alice has a seizure and rolls into the flames of the family's fire.
She suffered terrible burns to her head. The second time, her entire arm was burned in the fire before her family smelled something and rushed to her aid. Her arm had to be amputated.
Before getting the job here, I was begging in the street. It was hard. I was so embarrassed. It felt like the world had fallen on me.
We discovered Alice in the street and took her to the doctors. We are able to provide her a prosthetic arm and counseling after facing the stigma of losing her arm and hair.
I couldn't imagine I would have a job that everyone would pass by me. I like to look sharp in my job. I now have a job, and no one can underrate me anymore.
When Alice is growing up, a school for children suffering discrimination and isolation simply does not exist. But now, she is the proud gatekeeper for this new generation and witness to what is possible when all children are given opportunity.
The school is the solution for children with disabilities and the voice for such children who cannot speak for themselves.
Our country has a high-level political desire to solve issues of people with disabilities and continue encouraging more individuals to join in, so that the challenges people with disabilities encounter can finally be solved.
And I have seen the changes. I've seen children walking, children happy, children returning to school. Families who had no home now have home. Children laughing, children smiling, and families filled with joy.
This school makes me optimistic about the future of children with disabilities because we're creating a world where they can live fulfilling lives filled with opportunities to reach their full potential, along with understanding communities who embrace diversity.
As I said, Rwanda is known as the land of 1,000 hills. I dream about seeing Love with Actions having branches on the other 999 hills. That is my dream and my wish for these brave kids and their bright futures.